Hello, welcome back to From Soft Serve. Today is actually not going to be the Q&A video. That'll be tomorrow. I'll work on that today, as well as some modding, of course. But today we're going to show, or I'm going to show, awesome Undead Berg updates. I was having so much fun yesterday with removing baked lighting from Undead Berg, and there's another realization I had later that was really awesome. So I'll show you that too. First, I wanted to show just a quick comparison shot. So this here, because I do take some while I'm modding, this here is with the baked lighting, which you can see here, the behind me, this little light that's coming through is odd because it's completely differently colored, and it's something I've always been looking into, and I think it was actually in some of my other videos too, where I'm always like, why does this always look so bluish and weird? Well, it turns out that's actually in the baked shadow. And so when you switch over to removing that baked shadow, you now get this wonderful sunlight that hits. And I've actually done this through most of Undead Berg now. So one other change I made is this ladder. I basically went through every ladder in Undead Berg, and I changed the light scattering, and fog IDs so they stand out like this. But there was a problem. So in this picture, you'll see it's like, oh, look at the sunlight. It's really cool. It's great. But you'll notice the sunlight stops right at the waist of my character. There's this little, and then it just doesn't really continue on this castle wall, and it's strange. And the way that I knew that was wrong is because at first I was like, oh, maybe that's just a big structure behind it casting a shadow. No, you can actually tell from the ladder. The ladder is receiving sunlight. And I was like, well, okay, that's weird. And so I went into this map piece and removed the baked shadow, which I thought I already had, but I had not. And now you'll see, voila, the sun shadow correctly ends here for a structure. And then here, you now have the sun actually correctly hitting it and continuing from this little roof portion onto the actual wall. And then obviously there's a shadow that the ladder casts as well. As originally these ladders were not set to cast shadows, if I remember correctly. I'd made that change a long time ago, but now you have the sun hitting it. And I just thought that was super cool. But we're actually going to go in game now. Let's see where my character is. I don't remember where I logged out. Oh yeah, I was messing around with inside here, which was a bit of a nightmare, but it is what it is. So here we still have the correct shadows being cast, or light coming in. Oh my god, look at those. Look at those sun shafts. Those are amazing. I love the look of them. Okay, so I've already killed the people. The other thing you'll notice about this area is that it looks a little bit differently. I have altered essentially the saturation, light luminance, bloom, and I also messed with the tone correct settings for the M10 draw param, which governs specifically Firelink Shrine and Undead Burg. So what I've done is I've made it a little bit more contrasty because it was lacking that a little bit. It was missing some dynamic range. And so now you'll see in here it's a little bit more like sort of the greens and the blues that are naturally in this structure. So let's head this way because I removed some more baked shadows over here. This is just gorgeous. I think this has always been like this. I don't know. I don't remember. But I love the sun coming through here. Oh, someone just killed the gargoyles and rang the bell. Love to see it. All right. Woo! Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. So, the other thing is I removed some baked shadows for this entire front building. Yeah, you'll see there's still sort of a glitch of like getting too close, but I'll work on that. But now you have correctly the sun coming off the little, whatever you would call that, and then underneath the arches, it's now vastly more correct and looks awesome. And I think this was actually a little bit darker as well. Alright. Actually, I am noticing those arrows are really bright. I don't really know why. Oh, he's not even paying attention. Alright. So I also removed the baked shadow that was here, that was stopping, I believe. My memory's terrible, but I removed baked shadows from this entire side building, this floor, and so now you should see. Okay. Oh, delightful. I love it. Okay, well, that went well. Oh, good. Okay, well, I died here, so that's fair. So as you know, or don't know, that's fair. In a previous video, I've already removed the baked shadows from this whole portion. Easy peasy, looks great. A lot of shadows. And then I think down, yeah, let's go this way, because there are some examples over here. Okay, that guy had a rough day. Oh no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I know you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Okay, you don't want to do it again. Yeah, don't do it again. Yeah, no. The thing I like about the extra contrast is how red the Drake looks. I think it's so good. Why waste that red, right? Also, the depth of field in this spot here is just, it's so good. It's exactly what I want. Let's go this way. Back to Taurus Demon, because there are some more updates. Yeah, this I thought I could get sun coming through here, but it's actually, I think, the angle that the sun is hitting, it basically is always stopping in these archways. But the nice thing is I've made it to the point where you do see the sun actually hit the outer map piece to the inner map piece, and it just doesn't reach in here. And originally these were like too bright, so by stripping out the baked shadows, it actually worked out really well. Look at this doorway. Oh, so good. The other thing is this was very inaccurate previously. This was like a weird shadow that wasn't, or like sun coming in. It didn't match anything. These were too bright, so I fixed that. And this sun and the shadow that's being cast here is actually now correct based on this portion and the doorway mixed together, and you get this. So I made that accurate, which I love. It's so beautiful. See, the extra contrast, I think, really just was needed. But there's a key thing I did. I was very aware of when you make things more contrasty, and with the black levels that I've instituted, that was a problem in some of the darker areas. The blacks would be oh, I didn't realize there was a torch in here. Really? Oh, well, I could light that. All right. More on that later, actually. But yeah, so basically the blacks were getting crushed to where you just couldn't see anything, and I don't want that. I do want there to be detail in the blacks as well, right? Okay. Not gonna die here. Not gonna die here. Not gonna die here. Not gonna die here. I have played this game for hundreds and hundreds of hours. That reminds me of that Friends episode where Chandler was listening to that book on tape or whatever, and Joey switched it out to a different one, and it was like, you are a strong, confident woman. Also, look how ugly. So that's one of those fake map pieces that is like a really low quality one. Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, yeah. So from this distance, it's actually using the fake map pieces. I'll have to investigate that if I can delete those. Now, interestingly, there's another video on YouTube that goes really far into this, but you'll notice, so Solaire is over there, and the Drake is normally sitting on top of here, and that's the sunlight altar right in front. But as you'll notice below the sunlight altar, that's a pretty big structure there for a sunlight altar. And if I remember correctly, that was actually the original plan for where you would get to the Catacombs, or the depths. I can't remember. It was one of them. But you'll see how big that is. Like there was actually a whole lot of cut content right there, and they ended up moving it, I think, really late in development. But that's sort of a nice little tidbit. But my God, that map piece is hideous. Anyway, I fixed the baked shadows in this area, so now you get this nice sun hitting this and hitting this. It's not as dark. Big change was right here, actually. As I apparently totally forgot that there was a giant baked shadow that was used for this whole map piece. And so now you get these glorious, bright sun hitting it and the shadows on the foliage. And this building right here is another example of a brilliant, brilliant ladder. It just looks so good with the light changes, specifically on it. And stripping out the baked shadows, you can actually now see very clear shadows, but the other, okay, oh my God, Employee of the Month. Baby. Yeah, that's the other change, is that basically by removing the baked shadows, because you would have dynamic on top of baked, and the baked would take prominence, essentially. And, you know, so things would be a little bit darker. So now it looks a lot better. I've removed the baked shadows from that map piece that's sitting down there, so now you get actual sun shadows on it. Same for most all of these map pieces, to be honest. One of the cool ones is right here. Previously, this was not showing. It was, my shadow would show up, like where the shadow's showing up right now, but it was way darker, and you couldn't really tell as much. And so, once again, removing the baked shadow, you now have this wonderful shadow. So it's mostly that. It's just a lot of removing baked shadows, and I'm surprised like how much of a benefit it really is. It's honestly a game changer. So I should have gone back and done it a lot. Oh, actually, I've noticed this with some of the models. There's a hole in this model. It's very odd. Don't know what that's about. I wonder if there's another like fake one that was plugging that hole. I don't know. But yeah, over here is a similar situation. Oh my God, I forgot. I always forget about you, dude. Yeah, so similar situation over here. Just things are a little bit brighter. The ladder has that cool shadow on it. Actually, is this the way to... Okay. Woo! You thought this would be a bang bus situation. It was not. Alright, alright. But the contrast changes. I'm loving how just, rich the character's looking in the environment, and that the extra color I think was super needed. Like even on the barrel, it looks so good. So here's a view of actually, let's go down there real quick. Because actually there was a realization I made while I was down there that I was like, what the hell? How did I never notice this? Which is still happening with this game, which I love. The depth of this game and the fact that I'm still learning things. Crazy. Probably will never end, right? Yoink. Yoink. Later, nerd. Yeah, so similar to... Oh, okay. Forgot about you. Yeah, so here's the image I showed earlier in all its splendor. It was a big old ugly baked shadow that was removing the light from hitting this wall. And so now you get the correct shadows underneath the woodwork here, or the little walkway. Let's go up here. I like how strong the bloom is as you're going up the ladder. Also, I made a realization. I didn't know that the Capper Demon boss fight is right over here. I just never realized that, like, there's the torch. There's the way to Firelink Shrine. Okay, I didn't look left. Has that always been there? Is it because I changed the rendering things to render more often? I don't know. I have no idea. That's the technical term, too. Change the rendering things. Anyway, let's go to Firelink. Because they share a draw param between Undead Berg and Firelink Shrine, we got some benefits to Firelink Shrine as well, which, you know, oh my god. No, 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 we're not doing that. We're absolutely not doing that. Oh, suck it. Oh, I got some homies. Alright, so yeah, immediately you'll notice that it is more contrasty. There's a lot of colors going on, and I love it. I love bringing out the colors, you know, and I'm not done yet, but I just think it looks so good. And the reason why I really like it is that before, the dark shadowed areas and like the self-shadowing that happens on the character would basically like crush the detail. So this armor, being the black leather armor, is no longer crushed because of the minimum luminance that I was basically, I actually stole that setting from Anorlando, to be honest. But I was tinkering around with that. And so now you get armor that you can actually see the black leather hood still. And it's not completely crushed. And that's been my goal, because I, like, even in Firelink Shrine, there were dark areas that were just exceedingly dark that I thought were a little too dark. And now, see, like, they're still dark, but they're visible. Like, you can see in them, and it's not like see, here is like the perfect example. Here it is dark, but you can see. So this is kind of my plan for the game, where like I've removed the player lantern. Oh, did I? Oh, check it out. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go fix something real quick. As you guys will notice. Oh, that's the cutoff point. Yeah. That's the cutoff point. Yeah. Oof. Okay, well, I can fix some of that. The distant, uh, the distant part, yeah, that's a rough part. Oh, I don't even have. All right. Oh, let's open up DS Map Studio. I guess I closed it last night. That makes sense. I tend to leave it running a lot. But yeah, okay, so let's fix that. So it's basically the shrubs on the wall there. Ooh, we got the prepare to die. We don't actually want that one right now. We would like I called it the Soulstruct Companion Project because I thought I was actually going to be doing most of this in Soulstruct, which is another program to modify um, Dark Souls Remastered. But then I realized that no, I'm going to use DS Map Studio, because DS Map Studio is just arguably better in most ways and more fully fleshed out. So it's certainly the one I would recommend, at least starting with. Yeah, so here's a simple case of just like, whoop, all right, let's edit the draw group. And then this one was the grass that you can see right through here. Got it. I can modify that, because I have modified most of the grass to still be seen from far away. But I guess I just had forgotten some of it. What's the other one? I think this grass stayed rendered, but you know, what the hell? Let's just change that as well. It's grass. It's not costing any performance, right? Okay, so we got that. Oh, we've already changed that grass. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see how that does. Let's go over to my companion project. Map. Param. Let's quickly just pop over to my game folder. All right, and let's, oh, ringing the bell again. You love to hear people get that. Oh, I should probably also talk about it. Is that, yeah, when I log in, I get the data fraud has been detected and no improvement has been seen. Yeah, this is a weird one. I actually got this like months ago. And yeah, so I got this months ago before I even was modding Dark Souls 1. So it could have been from, I don't even know what mod it could have been from that I was using. I've used various Dark Souls mods. I'm not using any currently because I'm modding it, so I didn't want there to be anything sort of co-interactions or whatever. But yeah, I did notice someone commented that, and I was like, oh, that looks bad, I admit, but I've had that for a couple months. The weird thing is I still hear the bells of people downing the gargoyles. I still have the blood stains. I still have the messages. I still have the phantoms. So I don't really, to be fair, I don't reverse my hollowing very often, but I wonder, can I just not be invaded? Is that the only difference? I don't know. So I did put a little notice on the mod where I'm like, hey, you may have seen in the videos, I have a data fraud thing. That was from a couple months ago, but there's no guarantee on Souls modding. I am modifying the files, like the Fiverr files and the param files. Like that, I've always been modifying files. So I don't know, you know, that's sort of one of those things. So yeah, now you'll see the grass does not despawn. You'll love to see it. That's why I love making these videos for a variety of reasons. But I find glitches, and then I can fix them live. But as you'll see, Firelink Shrine with these luminance changes, it's still dark, but it's a visible dark, and I think it's a good balance. I need to remove the floating grass. I did forget to do that. Hold on. Once again, let's remove the floating grass, which is, that is floating. Oh, is that the floating one? Maybe. I think so. Well, anyway, I'll do that later. I wanted to show the graveyard with the luminance changes. So, you know, you're shadowed, but you can still see things. That's kind of my goal. So I want to, now that I understand the minimum luminance setting a bit more, I do want to continue to tinker with that in some of the darker areas. Because I think this will be a good example of, well, I don't know why this is showing sunlight, but we'll look at that. Yeah, so here's a good example of luminance changes versus the Catacombs level. Boom. And so now you'll see I've added, there is some visibility. Not perfect, and you will still need a lantern in most cases, but I'm happy that I'm making some good strides there towards playability. Oh my god, that was quick. Sheesh. Is there anything else that I modified that was cool yesterday? I always forget what I do sometimes. But yeah, let me know what you think. Oh, ran out of Estus. On the new colors, it's a small tweak, but it just gains a little bit of life, and I don't know. I love it. I personally love it. I appreciate that not everyone's gonna like it, but I really, I just like it. I just think it looks so good. The depth of field changes still just blow me away. It's such a simple, subtle change, but you notice the depth of field so much more now. It's so worth it. So this is a good example of the increased luminance. I'll still be tweaking this, as I do think like this room could stand to be a little bit darker to sort of match the elevator. That is sort of a bit off. But luckily this is its own collision, so I can play with that. I need to kind of get back to where everything else, you know, you can sort of tweak things on a collision basis versus I somewhat simplified where I wanted more of a unified look in some areas. So I converted most over to similar light IDs or fog IDs for visual cohesion's sake. But yeah, I'm just loving how the game is looking right now. I'm just really happy. And I want to bring this luminance slash contrastiness to more areas on a case-by-case basis to where it could work. What it should do is basically it's a saturation setting in the tone correct bank. And so what it should do is heighten the colors that are already there. And now, of course, in Firelink Shrine, I've modified these to be closer to Undead Berg, so that's why they were heightened Undead Berg style, and that's why they match. But in terms of like other areas where I haven't modified the colors, like in many areas, it will simply make the colors stronger and bring out what is already there, and that's what I'm excited about as well. Like Anne Orlando, for instance, they had set the saturation down to like 83% or lower, and sometimes a little bit higher, depending on the map. And I think there's some room for improvement there for a little bit more contrasty. I'm going to say that 5,000 times. Literally, this episode is just baked shadows, contrasty, and not crushed black. So hopefully you don't mind those those words. But yeah, tomorrow should be the Q&A video. Thank you for all the comments. Very nice. I did want to show one more thing. One more thing. Hold on. So, because of you lovely, lovely people, it's all due to you, of course, is that on my videos now, I have been approved into the YouTube Partner Program. Because I hit 500 subscribers a long time ago, and the watch hours hit a certain amount. And so now I'm actually closing in on the second tier of partner program. But the first part of the partner program is now on my videos. You'll see, let me go full screen on this one. You'll see a thanks button, and you can actually buy a super thanks, which basically goes directly to, well, I get 70% of it, to be honest, but that any amount is, to me, it blows my mind. So yeah, basically it's money that goes straight to me, and then it's a public comment, and it will have that on it, and it's like highlighted above all the other comments. And oh my gosh, oh, it has different colors. I see. I haven't even tried, looked at it. It just happened last night in the middle of the night. Like I couldn't sleep, and they were like, "You got approved," and I'm like, "Wow, that was quick." Normally it takes like a week. So yeah, so this is on all my videos now. If anyone decides to do it, God bless you. You don't have to. No one ever has to. I promise I won't mention it very often. But that is the most direct way, because I've had people ask me like, oh, how do I donate, or how best is it to support you and whatnot. And, so obviously I have the PayPal links. But I feel like this is probably the easiest way for people. Through PayPal, of course, I get 100% of the money, close. I wouldn't worry about any of that. I don't care about percentages. I don't care about any of that. The people who have donated to me, and I've gotten, recently I got like 3 or 4 donations, and like, that's crazy. That to me blows my mind. I will never take that for granted. So, but yeah, so you'll see that on the videos. The other thing is you'll now see a join button, and I'm going to be working on this. This was in the middle of the night. And now it's essentially, you can get perks if you want. You get loyalty badges. I'll post photo and status updates. It's basically going to replace Patreon for me. Like, I'll keep my Patreon up, but it was another website, and I didn't update it very often, and I was just bad about it. But this, being on YouTube, being on the platform I'm already on and making content on, I can do this. Priority reply, member shoutouts. There was another one that they had by default, which was early access to videos, and I nixed that. I don't like that. I want everyone to get my videos at the same time. I don't want to create some, because you can basically just go, oh, okay, well, I'll just create 2 videos and then put one out for people, and it gets into this weird situation, and I just have no interest in that. I want everyone to watch my videos at the same time. And yeah, so if you want to, this is sort of, I called it the Chosen Undead. But let me know if you have any ideas for this, because yeah, there's like little emotes I think you can make, and like little stickers and stuff, and so I do want to work on that. And actually, yeah, basically, your channel name, your username will basically be put up in, I believe it's in the actual like video here, and then in my dashboard for my channel, like when people go to it, your name will be put up there if you subscribe to the membership perks kind of thing. And so I don't know, I just thought I'd shout that out. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, but I promise you it's not going to be every video where I'm like, hit the join button. Really just liking and sharing the video and enjoying the content. That's what I really want. The other stuff, that's for anyone that's like, I have extra money, I don't need to pay bills with it, I don't need to spend anything. I would never want anyone to ever send me money that if they're like, I can't afford. It's like, no, please do not. Please, only expendable money that you were going to spend on gold bars. or some ridiculous, uh, I don't know, throw into crypto. Send it to me instead. Let's not put it into crypto. Well, maybe I don't know, whatever. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow will be the Q&A. I'm excited to film that because I've actually made sure not to read any of the questions. I want it to be like I want it to be live. I want to not have prepared answers, so you get like the most honest answers. I mean, I would be honest regardless, but like I don't want them to be like canned and planned. I wanted to just be whatever's the top of my head. Boom, done. Send it. Because I want you guys to know, I don't know, the real me, right? I don't feel like I've never had the energy to be a fake version of myself. So basically, yeah, I suck at lying too. Really bad at it. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. Please consider liking it, sharing it, as you homies already have been doing. It's amazing. Thank you. The amount of views I get on videos now just blows my mind compared to where I was 2 months ago. Nuts. And yeah, maybe consider subscribing. I've crossed 1,000, which is insane. It was on the 1 year anniversary of this channel because I started by not doing much with the channel for like the first 6 months. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. I'm so excited to make more videos and strip out more baked lighting. I will destroy all baked lighting in the world. But yeah, praise the sun. Be kind to each other. I hope you have a good day. And thanks for watching.